Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Welcome to another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast. Today in the Sales Software Series review, we are with Ben Wright, VP of Revenue from Sendspark. Ben, how you doing today?
I'm all good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
It's a pleasure to have you on the show. We want to learn more about Sendspark, and I bet in the audience there's a couple of sales leaders that want to learn a little bit more about Sendspark as well. So Sendspark is a solution that helps sales leaders and SaaS companies leverage video prospecting to improve reply and open rates. What does this mean, Ben?
Yeah, so I think good question. So if you're part of a B2B SaaS organization, typically you'll have your sales reps outbound to prospects. And I think that's become, harder over the years. And so one way people have tried to do that is through video prospecting. And so Sendspark just makes it super easy and super scalable to use video prospecting. And then as a result, improve your overall reply and open rates as well.
Fantastic. So if you want to stand out, basically, if email enough is just not cutting it, just plain text, maybe you're doing some cold calling, the response, the conversion there, you're not really connecting and getting enough traction, video can help you. And it seems like video is an interesting development because once you generate the video, you can send it through multiple channels, not just email, social as well. What have you seen these sales leaders use before they use Sendspark if they're trying to leverage video?
Yeah, so I think video has been around for years, right? And I think if you ask a lot of sellers, does video work? The answer would typically be yes, but historically there's not been a scalable way to do it. And I think that's the important thing to take away. And so alternative solutions in the market, Loom, Vidyard are probably the major two in the space. Both of which, however, are extremely manual, which means that, sales teams don't adopt them because fundamentally it just takes them too long to create and send video. And so typically when people come to Sendspark, it's because they've used these solutions in the past and just looking for a better way to operationalize video across their sales team.
Fantastic. Seems like some of your best customers have acknowledged that video works. They're just not doing it efficiently. And you mentioned Loom and Vidyard, some of the main players in the space. It's something that they may be trying, but it's there's a lot of manual or admin work, let's say manual tasks, time-consuming tasks, that's really stopping them or hindering them from really reaping the benefits of trying video. So why don't we go ahead and share the screen, walk us through some of the key features that really make Sendspark much more streamlined solution when it comes to prospecting with video.
I think I'll kind of kick things off again with like major challenges, right? And again, as I walk through the demo, I'll kind of show you how we solve for those challenges. And so I'll keep going back to the point of, a lot of sales leaders recognize that their sales teams need to be prospecting, selling, outbounding in a lot of different ways. You mentioned email, you mentioned phone calls. Video is definitely, one of those things that people should be using. But fundamentally, it hasn't been easy to get broad adoption of video. And just because how long it takes, if you're going to go out and record a personalized video for, 100 prospects, 1,000 prospects, AEs, SDRs don't have the time in the day to do that. And so as we walk through this demo of the Sendspark platform, what we enable people to do is record one video and then personalize at scale through the use of AI. And then also push these kind of auto-generated videos back into the sales engagement platform, making everything a lot more scalable, a lot more easier to do. So what I'm showing you on the screen is the Sendspark platform. Again, the feature that everybody kind of watching this is going to be most interested in is our dynamic video feature, which again, just to recap, means you record one initial video and then we give you the ability to personalize that at scale really, really easily. When you set up a dynamic video campaign, you are going to need to record an initial video. The only, nuance or difference being at the start of the video, we also have you record a placeholder phrase. And so for us, that's "Hey watermelon." So you're literally going to say, "Hey watermelon," pause, and then record the rest of the video as normal. Fundamentally, what that's doing to our platform is saying, hey, every video that's now sent out as part of this campaign replace the watermelon phrase with the first name of the prospect that we're reaching out to. So our tool clones your voice, and then every contact you now upload as part of the campaign, it's going to switch out the term watermelon for the first name of the prospect. As we get into showing you the generated videos, what they look like, the other thing that we're able to automate is a dynamic background that kind of populates behind you in the video. And so if you think about the old way of doing things again, where with a Loom, you'd have to go to each individual person's website or LinkedIn and say something about it, we automate that experience as well. And so these toggles basically control what you want that dynamic background to do. Do you want it to simulate scrolling, up and down? And do you want there to be a cursor overlaid on the screen to, again, replicate that you are actually on a website, a LinkedIn profile, etc.?
That's incredible, Ben. Like that right there, we just saw two huge features that anyone that has tried video prospecting, as you said, they know it works. They know that people receive these messages better, reply better with more frequency. But if we've done a Vidyard, if we've done a Loom, we know that it's a one-to-one basis. And as you said, it's sometimes customizing the background takes a few clicks, and that's where the fear of, or maybe the resistance to trying video in a more consistent way can start to happen. A lot of people drop off. They tried once, twice, maybe send 5 per day maximum. So you're showing us basically how email templates, let's say, quote unquote, email templates can be applied now as video templates. And these personalization tokens, hey, name, now you use it as part of your speech. You program it once, but then you can scale it into the hundreds or even thousands.
Yeah.
That's where the true power of Sendspark can really start to make a difference versus the status quo tools for video prospecting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you mentioned something important there, which is, I think if you've tried the old way of doing things where maybe you're sending out 5 a day, you haven't got initial scale to actually test whether it's working, if that makes sense. So again, if you send out, 10,000 emails a day, you can pretty quickly figure out like what messaging's work, whether, email is even an effective channel. There's never been a way of really scaling video out. And so exactly as you mentioned, it moves it from a one-off activity into something that can now be part of every cadence that you send out fundamentally.
That's fantastic, Ben. What else do you want to show us?
Yeah, a couple other features. So I think one of the things that's also really important is tracking effectiveness. And so another feature that we offer inside of the Sendspark platform is the ability to customize a personalized landing page. And as I'll show you in a minute, workflow-wise, let's say you've created these videos, you've pushed them out through like an Outreach or an Apollo, or whatever you use from a sales engagement standpoint. If somebody clicks into that video, what they're taken to is a customized landing page as well. So not only are we going to do personalized video, but this landing page view here is going to be personalized for every single person. You can insert merge tags such as their first name, company name. And so each person that clicks into the landing page experience is also going to see this beautifully created landing page, which also looks like you as the sales rep have personalized it just for them. You can add in a CTA. So maybe this is, check out our software or check out a case study, which would kick them to that link. And then you can also embed your calendar booking link directly into that landing page. And we integrate with every major calendar booking platform. So again, send a video. If they like what they hear, why not have them book on your calendar immediately from the video that you've sent over? And so underrated feature, but one again that just offers another level of personalization at scale around the whole video sending experience as well. Let's touch on finally then the fun part, which is what do these videos actually look and sound like? And so the final step inside of Sendspark is literally importing contacts. And you can do this in 2 ways. One, by just uploading a CSV into the platform, a file with first name, email into the platform. You can also automate that via an API. So again, we integrate with every major sales engagement platform. So you can push contacts directly into Sendspark. Once you push those contacts in, wait a couple of minutes. And again, all these videos will be auto-personalized. I'm just going to play you a couple of examples just so you can see what the experience is like. So let's play this one first.
Hey, Yulia. Thanks for taking a look at Sendspark. Here is a quick video to show you some of the superpowers that we've built in for sales outreach and marketing automation.
I'll play you one more with like a different name, different background.
Hey, Zoe. Thanks for taking a look at Sendspark. Here is a quick video to show you some of the superpowers that we've built in for sales outreach and marketing automation.
And one more with a website background and not a LinkedIn.
Hey, Jan Willem. Thanks for taking a look at Sendspark. Here is a quick video to show you some of the
So fundamentally now we could have uploaded, 10,000 contacts into this campaign. Each person is going to have a fully personalized video generated for them as part of the workflow. And so again, it takes that like one-to-one experience that you used to have, and now you've got like a 1 to 10,000 video experience with those videos that are generated. I'll pause there. Any questions about the video, Eddie, before I kind of dig into a few last points?
More than a question, I would say that if there's a sales leader sitting in the audience right now paying attention to this video, I can almost see your grin, because one thing that was missing when you were doing video prospecting is the variability and the sample control. We addressed the sample control a few seconds ago when we said, hey, you were doing this 1-to-1, 1-to-5 maximum per day. But now the other angle of this is, if you structure it in a way that, like an email campaign, you understand what message goes into each step of the sequence, what you're trying to push, what you're trying to leverage, then same thing with the scripts. And as you said it, if you now have the volume, it's not just 5 samples a day that we're measuring, it's probably 1,000 emails sent a day, maybe even more. So we can quickly assess what's converting, control the messaging at the high level structure of the setting of the campaign. And then it's much easier for the follow-ups to do a one-off-one basis, but we at least control the initial deliverable, the initial value prop, the initial messaging that we're using to hike the interest of our target audience.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And the final thing I'll show, again, 20 sales leaders are probably thinking about, great, you can give us 1,000 videos, but how do I actually push this back into the sales engagement platforms we use? And so what you'll find inside of Sendspark is we integrate with every major sales engagement and marketing automation platform, meaning that once the videos have been generated, you can basically push these into sequences. And so again, if you wanted to have a video as standard for step 3 in your sequence, with Sendspark, that's now possible. Before, again, like SDRs, AEs had to individually record, paste in, and then send out. With Sendspark, you can not only generate a bunch of videos, but then again, push them into all these sales engagement marketing automation platforms to send out at scale. The final thing I'll show you before we kind of conclude is, what do these look like fundamentally from an end user experience perspective, right? Like once these are sent out, what do they look like? And so if you're seeing my screen now, the way that Sendspark videos appear in people's inboxes are actually as like dynamic GIF images. And so they're not going to be a link, or they're not going to be a static image. There is like a dynamic element to the video inside of somebody's inbox. And so, gets their attention, pattern interrupt, etc. They click into that video. They're then taken to the landing page experience that we kind of showed earlier, which again, you can set up, customize for your own business, has the personalized videos, has that merge tag to say, hi, Ben, because it recognizes my email, got the calendar in here, got a CTA. So really from an end-to-end experience, that should kind of, again, explain kind of what we're working on and how to do it at scale.
That's incredible, Ben. Can you take us for a second back to the view of the landing page?
Yeah.
I think that was very powerful. It kind of reminds me of something like a link tree, or as you said it, a personalized landing page that I don't really have to tweak that many times. I said it once, almost like with the video, with these templates, right? And if I control my sales process and I know what call to actions I want my leads to take based on the niche, the attributions that I have for them, how I want to convert them, what questions they typically ask for, then I can just set up those links over there, nicely organized, the frequently asked questions, the link to purchase, the click to support, but most importantly, having there the calendar so that all the call to actions that I know are going to speed up the velocity of my sales process, I can put them in front of my prospects and have them just navigate on their terms, and hopefully, again, speed up the process, get better conversions, and shrinking the sales cycle.
Exactly, man. Yeah, that's a little bit of everything, mate. So I'll stop sharing my screen and kick it back to you.
There was one other thing that I felt was interesting. I didn't specifically mention it or highlight it, but it's the friction that sometimes the sales professionals at my firm may have when it comes to recording or being on camera? Sometimes there's a little bit of that fear. Oh, I'm going to have to dress up and look nice every day I come to the office because they every day expect me to record another video.
Yep.
Well, it seems like this makes it very easy. Hey, just come prepare one day to crush it, look your best, super professional. And that's a day where we record the samples, the watermelon sentence, the script that may go into the templates. But that one session of recording is going to give you tons of templates, tons of messages to then continue to send and drip over to the target audience, because after that, you just control the personalization token in the platform. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're totally spot on. I think it's a fair point. Like one of the things that another reason that sales teams won't adopt videos, to your point, like they just don't want to do their hair, put a shirt on, every time they want to record a video. And so all you need to do is get one good take, now and then you can kind of scale that out infinitely. So I think it's a really good point. Just as an aside, Sendspark does give you full recording functionality. So we do actually have like a one-to-one video feature as well, in the way that you can record your face, your screen, etc. And so there should never be a need for having like a Loom and a Sendspark, because everything you can do in Loom, you can do in Sendspark from the one-to-one video perspective. We just have the dynamic AI video being that fundamental, differentiator, which now enables you to scale as well.
That's incredible. And it was going to be one of my questions for after the initial blast. If I still want to do the one-off basis, I can then continue to do so. Great. Then I guess my other question was going to be, what are the tasks, deliverables, and people involved in setting up Sendspark at one of your typical customers, let's say a SaaS company? And how long does it typically take them to reach full productivity, for them to be sending that first initial blast and then the follow-ups? How much time do you say that takes?
Yeah, so it's a good question. So we are a PLG company, which means, individual AEs, SDRs can literally sign up, pay by credit card on our platform, and get started almost immediately recording videos. One case where it differs is if you're a larger company where you wanted to onboard, 20, 30, 40 sales reps at a time. We do recommend that you have like your RevOps team or your marketing automation team on the call. Because obviously integrating platforms, that kind of adds some complexity to that implementation. And so I'd say if you're an individual A or an SDR, you can sign up, get started without even talking to anybody and have success straight away. For larger sales teams, I would say it takes maybe one call where we have your marketing or operations team on to figure out the integration, and then we can kind of get you started and off to the races. And so we've made it as simple as possible. As I've shown you, that workflow is really easy to set up. And so fundamentally, our process for larger teams is one implementation call. We also do a training call where we can teach you about like, what does a good video script look like and how long should a video be? So more of the fundamentals around video recording in general. And so, yeah, in general, very easy, very seamless implementation and onboarding process. And full productivity, I mean, fundamentally, mate, like I said, you could be ready to go in the first couple of weeks, sending out 10,000 videos at a time. So yeah, very, very, very short implementation period.
Fantastic. And then I guess my last question for today, Ben, is going to be the success metric, the success criteria that your clients typically use to identify if Sendspark has been working for them or not. What would you say would be some quantifiable outcomes that sales leaders in SaaS can expect?
I would say, again, if we go back to where we started, it's fundamentally a new component or a scalable component to outbound campaigns. And so I think the KPIs you should be looking at once you've incorporated Sendspark video into your outbound sequences, an improvement in overall reply rate and open rate. And just as a kind of, I guess, real life example, one of our customers, Warmly, who do website de-anonymization pretty much as their value proposition, saw about a 3x increase in reply rates for their outbound campaigns when they started to insert or leverage dynamic video as part of those campaigns. And so I think fundamentally, mate, including video and scalable video shows prospects you care, is another medium which I think you should be leveraging. And so, yeah, starting incorporating those into your sequences is going to improve open rate and reply rates fundamentally.
Fantastic, Ben. So there you have it, sales leaders. If you are listening in the audience and you are curious about Sendspark, want to have a meeting with Ben and his team, head over to the CloudTask Marketplace. You will be able to find Sendspark and learn more about the solution. Ben, it's been awesome to have you on the show, and I hope to catch you on a future episode.
Cool. Love it. Thanks so much. And thanks for having me, mate.
Awesome. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate.